I thought I would do a little bit of an update. Those who pay attention to my channel, um, you'll understand why. You'll see that I know the most important thing I need to do in the next aspect of my life is have a good workout and really center mind, body, soul, spirit, um, which is the Tai Chi. And I'm doing some Pilates and some yoga. But I do have these voices that are talking me out of it. So that is my struggle now, that I don't feel um, it's as important to focus on YouTube as much as it is to see why is it can I set a goal for myself and not follow through. There's a problem there that I need to work out. And part of the problem, um, things that are on my mind that are distracting me. There are some family um, events going on that I do feel I've earned the right to talk about, but yet um, don't know how to talk about it in a respectful way. I do drink out of these water bottles to help remind me constantly what is my intention and um, what I want to talk about. I'm completely grateful for um, everything that's happened in my life. Although it's been one hell of a struggle, it's been one hell of an education. Although the education um, doesn't make me fit within society all that well, um, I understand society a little better. And I am loving and happy, although it's a struggle to constantly feel loving and happy. I know that as long as there's problems, there's solutions. And we have some global problems that I am so looking forward to the global solution, because it's about time. It's been thousands of years that humanity's waiting to make a shift. Now, part, and this goes for Canadian taxpayers, those voting Canadians. I really wish that you really knew what was going on in your country. The media is not reporting any news. There doesn't seem to be any politician that is willing to talk about this issue, but it's extremely important in what we find acceptable in our society. That question, why is it you have a women's shelter in every friggin' Canadian town? Why is it acceptable that beating your wife is acceptable here in Canada? And then, sorry, because of my experiences, I am very well familiar with our justice system and our police system and our nonprofit system and our government system and our welfare system, our education system, our economic system. I'm sorry, but my past experiences have educated me in all of these systems. And things got to change. all of these systems want to say that I'm crazy, and but I'm questioning how crazy are these systems. Now, one way you can see that the guy that's the winner, these elites, politicians, those who think that they're in control, um, because you don't know what you're doing, it's going to come back at you. It is like a karma effect. And it's shown in my own life experience that um, my ex husband was not valuing family. So I had to get a divorce. The marriage was very abusive, mostly emotionally abusive, but I was cracking up. I left when I couldn't handle it anymore. And I was told that there were systems there to protect me. Meanwhile, everybody go check out your economic system. You try getting a job after being a stay-at-home mother for 20 years, and you're now 40, and every job that you go and apply for, there's somebody with experience or somebody that's 20 years younger than you. So there is a definite struggle trying to find work. And then when you're dealing with abuse, because abuse increases, doesn't decrease when you leave abuse, and there are no systems out there to protect you. There are no police, there is no justice system. This is the truth that nobody wants to let out of the box. But you're out there by yourself and you're raising children. And then kids are manipulated to believe stories that aren't true. Um, some of the stories are that I've locked my kids in basements without food and water for days. These are in court records. Um, my kids have been manipulated to believe things that I'm shocked, stunned that you could even believe that to be true. So for 10 years, you're trying to earn a living, and nobody will hire you when you're under that level of stress. So you're taking, minimum wage type jobs. So you're being treated like royal shit. Tax paying Canadian hardworking people are you being treated like shit if you're earning low income. Um, you got no power, you got no voice. The whole system is designed so you don't have a voice because you have too much shit going on that you haven't got time to complain. Um, and then they can take advantage of you. Um, my ex has gone to court without serving me many, many, many times. Didn't even have to provide any evidence. But there's more court orders where I owe him child support over him owing me child support. Now, um, my the problem that we aren't seeing, and this is involving both mothers and fathers getting a divorce. Um, the problem that I'm seeing is that women generally are looking after kids, and women generally cannot afford it, so they do go after men for their income. We have um, inbred women to be this aggressive to support their kids. So there's a lot of women that are taking advantage of fathers for kids. Like, this is a real issue that nobody ever wants to talk about. Why? Because there's so many freaking women's shelters and men that are really not paying attention to their kids. So they're two very serious issues going on. For me, in my case, my ex, when I left him, within weeks he moved in with another woman, and she was determined to make sure that I don't receive any form of child support or spousal support. 20-year marriage, 4 kids, and this woman was determined. There's lots of emails that she says no way in hell was, and she was going to do everything in her power to make sure that my kids hate my living guts. um, that she was the new mom. Well, this woman is now left and has had no children with my ex-husband, but now feels that she's entitled to a hell of a lot of child support and a hell of a lot of spousal support for only living half the time that I did with this man. And my ex-husband is willing to pay her. So I say to Canadian taxpayers, do you think your justice system is right? Do you think your government system is right? When you see um, women just latching themselves onto, a man that has original children, and she is the one that's spending full-time hours filling out court documents, it's a living to them to ensure that money is staying in the household. The first wife is the one that got the guy the good career. Um, couldn't have done it without the first wife supporting him and finding him courses and helping them. Trust me, my ex-husband's career could not have been done by himself. He had a hell of a lot of help from me, and yet I'm the one that pays him child support for the kids that live in my house. So that's what I kind of is on my mind. That while we have a Canadian election, do you even know what you're voting for? I think it's wrong that your tax dollars are going to support me being on a disability when my disability is directly caused by this woman who for 10 years did everything in her power to destroy a really great family. Although our marriage was, I mean, my ex-husband did have some issues that I couldn't live with. Um, there were some issues, but it was a very, very loving family. 4 really, really amazing kids. And if anything, she should be the one that's responsible for this debt of child support that I'm owed. Instead of collecting child support, she made a good living off of my children. Um, when she would cause so much shit that I couldn't handle my kids living with me, and they were over the age of 18, they would take them in and charge them like $500 each rent while not paying their child support for the other kids that were under 18 living with me. One child wanted to visit with his father, just turned 16, and he charged him $300 a month to visit with him for 2 months out of the summer. So my son at 16 had to pay his father $600 to visit with him. This problem is global. What is causing my ex-husband not to value the amazing family that he has, but this ex-wife of his now is leaving him, doesn't recognize how destructive she was to your family. Your family and kids are there for you, love you, accept you no matter what. But this other person is just taking advantage of you. That, I'm sorry, if you find that acceptable to pay this woman um, child support for a child that's not even yours, and you did it off of not paying your child support to your original kids, I'm going to talk about that one. Peace out.